Hi, we're going to talk here about laser treatment and neuropathy. Dr. Gates is a board
I'm a board certified chiropractic neurologist.
and I am a
certified.
there you go, I forgot. I'm a chiropractor, 35 years, but I'm also a certified functional medicine practitioner. And we have melded those three, chiropractic, but more functional neurology and functional medicine, into a kind of a newer paradigm for chronic pain. We've been doing it for quite some time now, 5 or 6 years. About 5 or 6 years, I think. We've treated a lot of patients. We treated a lot of peripheral neuropathy. Our practice just kind of evolved. We started out with fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia kind of morphed into thyroid problems and gut problems, and then ultimately all of that kind of morphed into understanding a lot of these folks had peripheral neuropathy. And in the end, a lot of folks have peripheral neuropathy. I had no idea until we started getting into this. So we feel we have a pretty good understanding of peripheral neuropathy. We're in hopefully the last edit of what we think is going to be potentially a landmark book, at least for the lay public, on peripheral neuropathy. And so we have a pretty good experience of what's going on, what's happening out there, what's working, what's not working. We use lasers in our practice. However, we wanted to clear up a number of things because there, as with anything, peripheral neuropathy is now becoming known as a big market out there, and you have to be careful. This is I have to walk a fine line here because I don't want to be feeling like I'm getting on my colleagues. However, to truly understand to truly understand peripheral neuropathy and what it takes to create a long-term, can it even be fixed? Yes, it can be fixed. We've done tons of stuff online on that. You can look at powerhealthtalk.com and look up our talks on that. Can it be helped? Can it be resolved? Can it be improved and maintained? Yes, absolutely. But it is a complex situation. And there are tools out there that are now being promoted, I'll be kind, and being promoted as the answer for a lot of things, and for some, and laser being one of them. And laser is better for some things than others. And we use laser with peripheral neuropathy patients, but what we want to kind of share with you is it's not the whole answer. Okay, it's not the whole answer. Now, Dr. Gates works in the realm of the brain and the peripheral nervous system. Your brain and spinal cord is called your central nervous system. Peripheral neuropathy is all the other nerves in the body going out other than the brain and the central nervous system. And I think I'd like him to share with you, Dr. Gates has developed a lot of new treatment nuances to treating peripheral neuropathy, which contributes largely to our pretty consistent success in treating these types of patients. And I would like him to share with you, I discussed this with him this morning, what his observations are on laser as a standalone treatment for peripheral neuropathy.
And basically, with peripheral neuropathy, as you know, the nerves are dying or degenerating or they're dead. Most commonly, it starts in the feet, can spread up to the knees, and then involve the hands. There are other nuances, so to speak, of different types of neuropathies that we're not going to get into. But your garden variety neuropathy, that's what happens. There are practitioners out there who are basically just doing laser on neuropathy patients, reporting some good successes. And I don't doubt that, because we use laser in our practice for peripheral neuropathy and we see good changes with it. Basically, laser can improve cellular metabolism in the nerves. Lots of times there are metabolic problems like diabetes, autoimmune issues, vitamin deficiencies, post-cancer, where there's chemotherapies that damaged the nerves. And laser can help to get the nerve functioning better, or certain types of laser modalities. However, we want to do this talk because in the peripheral neuropathy world, and the peripheral neuropathy paradigm that we're basically positing to the public out there, is that you have to address the underlying metabolic component with regenerating the nerves. And we use a variety of modalities to bring back the nerves.
And just to take this back a step, we really qualify our patients. We do a very, very significant consultation, trying to find out whether that patient would be a good candidate for the types of things that we're doing. And we see a lot of patients who've already tried these things, and who've already tried laser, or already tried different electrical stimulations, and it didn't work, or it worked for a while and then it stopped working.
Right.
So that was kind of the genesis of this presentation.
Yeah, and you said neuropathy can be fixed. In certain cases, it can be really improved. We feel that we're seeing consistently successful results because we qualify our patients, like Dr. Rutherford is talking about. We make sure they're going to respond to what we do
And we're
before we
looking
start
for a
into a
long-term
process.
result.
Yeah, of taking them down that road of treatment. And absolutely. And so a lot of people out there with neuropathy are going to practitioners who do laser and they charge a certain amount and they do it every other day. But in our experience, lots of times once you stop doing laser, your symptoms come back. And actually, we pulled up an article. We can maybe post it to our...
If you don't keep doing the laser like regularly over a long period of time, and currently those treatments, I would say, are fairly pricey.
Right, and this article out of Iran was really cool because it basically showed that doing laser is effective for neuropathy, but then as soon as you stop doing it, then the results basically go back and the symptoms come back. And so that's what we wanted to propose because we've developed this paradigm of how to address the underlying metabolic problem like diabetes with regenerating the nerves, and then if that's successful, showing the person how to keep doing that at home by controlling, let's say, the diabetes in this example, as well as doing daily stimulation exercises they can do in the comfort of their own couch or their own home without the need of the practitioner, without being dependent on them for the rest of their lives. And that's what's really cool. That's really exciting.
Yeah, many of our patients who come in here have already been told nothing can be done for you. It's either blood sugar, it's your low back, it's your neck, maybe it's your ankle. If you've had chemotherapy, what is it, 20% will get...
yeah, it depends on the chemo.
Depending on the chemo, we'll get peripheral neuropathy. The medical community is pretty conversant in that. But there are approximately 78 or 79 other reasons that you can get peripheral neuropathy. And if those reasons are not addressed, these modalities are going to be temporary. We use the modalities to start to get the pain down and to get the nerves to heal. But as Dr. Gates said, if you start to, if you can resolve the other issues that have actually caused the peripheral neuropathy, now you're looking at a long-term response. And so that we get a lot of questions on that. I get a lot of people come in and say, well, I'm considering your program versus the laser program. Fine, I just let them know, why don't you go do the laser program? Why don't you go do the laser program, see how it works out. If you get a long-term response, awesome. But if you don't get a long-term response, then this is what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to figure out all this other stuff. And frankly, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to get a long-term response. There's a lot of support in the literature for that. Patients even come into me and say, well, my doctor said that stuff you're going to do is just going to work for a little while. And I get to say, they're right. If you don't do all of this, if you got diabetes and fibromyalgia, you got pernicious anemia, you're stressed out of your mind, you got bad adrenals, you got gut problems, all those things can be contributing to your peripheral neuropathy. You want a long-term response, that's where you're going to have to go. You want a short-term response, or you want a short-term response where you can just go in, you can be there for 15 minutes, you can get the laser done, it starts feeling better, and then you got to go in every month or a couple of weeks or whatever it is for the rest of your life, and you're okay with that, then understand that then the laser would be a good tool for you. So I think that kind of says what I wanted to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. So hopefully that was helpful. You have any comments on it? Any of you who had long-term laser success from a short-term treatment, please let us know. We just haven't seen it. Anybody has any questions on anything we've talked about or on your specific situation, you can feel free to contact us at powerhealthtalk.com with an email, and he'd be happy to answer.
Absolutely. Or you can send it to our Facebook page.
Okay.
Thank you for watching.
Hopefully that's helpful. All right.